Okay, this is take 4 on this. I'm going to do a review of the new Makala Waterman ukulele, and first we're just going to start out real quick. It comes in a really nice box. Um, you may ask, who cares about the box? But to me, this is part of the marketing package, what it's all about. And they pay tribute to Maccaferri and his Islanders, who they say he is their inspiration for creating what they have here. So I think that's kind of cool. But when you open up the box, one thing that a lot of people will like about the ukulele, as I get it untangled here, is it does come with a gig bag. It comes in a gig bag, and there you can see the logo. I really like the logo. I think it does logo. I think it really does a good job of marketing it to the outdoor market. It has backpack strap so you can cinch it up, and not only is it this outer fabric, but it's a lined bag with a nicer nylon so that the uke will slip in there really good. One other thing is it comes with the Super Nile Gut, let's see, Makala strings, so that's what comes on it. And as a disclaimer, I just want you to know that Kala sent this ukulele to me to try it out to see what I thought, because they know I'm a huge Maccaferri Islander nut, and they wanted to see what I would think. So we'll do a real quick review, and I'm not going to do a lot of comparison to the Maccaferri, because if you own one, you'll find out the differences on your own, and frankly it'll bore most of you unless you're an extreme geek like myself or a few other people that I know. So here we go. It starts out with a nice headstock. Now this one has got the cream top, as you can see here, and as you can see here, it's a translucent blue, and it's pretty cool that way. You can see all the bracing. You can see the bracing in the neck, which I know that the Maccaferri Islanders have these because I've repaired them. I've had the headstocks, I've had the face plates off, so I know that that's similar. And one thing that I do want to point out is this comes out with the Makala geared tuners. I think they're on all of Makala's instruments. An open geared tuner mounted with a Phillips screw. And the one thing that I was wondering is if these were going to be able to be removed. And I tried a couple of the screws, and they're not glued in or anything, so if you really wanted to put over onto a friction peg, you could. I'm assuming you could. I haven't put one on, but the important part is they followed Maccaferri's plan, and that is that on this white face plate, if you can kind of see in there, there's built-in spacers so that if you were to put a friction peg in here, you would not crush it with putting pressure on it to create that friction. So I think you probably could swap this out. Will I? I don't know. Now on the fingerboard, one thing it has a 0 fret, just like Maccaferri had. And if you're wondering what a 0 fret is, it's a way for builders to ensure intonation without having to monkey around with the nut very much. And there's another plastic brand of ukulele called Woody, at least in the USA, it's called Woody USA. They're made in China. And they've got their 0 fret way down. It's got to be like 1/4 of an inch way down. It's kind of in a goofy spot. And another difference is here, this is very much like a Woody brand ukulele. The sound hole, the way it's built up there. Maccaferri's had a rosette glued in there just as a decorative accent. The fretboard is very similar to a Maccaferri Islander, and the only thing I want to point out on this is that when I opened it up, I was very excited to see they had 3 side dots for side markers, but as you can tell now, they're gone, and they actually wiped off within 20 minutes of playing. And I'm a player that cradles his uke a lot in that crook of your hand right there. It's probably a bad habit, I don't know, but it's to make these big fingers be able to hit the soprano. So it didn't take long for those fret markers to wipe right off. And as you notice, as I come up here, you can see the paint. There used to be 3 dots, and then watch my Mac's falling asleep. The one dot is totally gone, and look at the fret paint all the way down to here is wore off, so you can see how far up I've played fairly consistent to wipe that off. Now, I've had this for 3 days, and I've probably played it 45 minutes or an hour if you were to add up all the time I've played it. And so it's not been an extremely amount of time. So I don't know what kind of paint they use. Now, I've got Islanders that are 50 years old and the paint's stuck. I don't know what kind of paint they used or what kind of paint is on here, but something's not allowing it to stay on the fingerboard. The other thing is that the whole uke, it's finished nicely. It feels good. There's no glue, there's no sharp edges or anything like that, but it feels like it's been wiped down. And I know Maccaferri, they used to buff them with Carnauba wax, and these almost feel kind of like they were rubbed down with a Armor All or something, some type of product. And so they just feel kind of slick that way a little bit, and I imagine that'll kind of wear off. But now we'll get down to the brass tacks, which most of you want to know about is, and what does it sound like. Now, as I said, this is several takes into it, and I was getting too close to the microphone. I'm doing this right into a MacBook Pro with the built-in mic, and I had to distance myself a little bit because it's louder than I think it is. And so to put it in perspective, I'm probably about 2.5 feet away from the microphone on my Mac. And I'll give you a little sound sample here. It does have a kind of a buckety plastic ukulele sound. Of course, the materials are different than Maccaferri used. He used Styron, which was the plastic of his age. These are not the same materials, so they sound different than his instruments do. But Maccaferri's would melt in a hot car, and I know people who had their childhood ukulele melt in their car, in a hot car, where I was told by the Makala company that these will hold up to 212 degrees. So they should be able to withstand riding around in your car. Now, on to the sound sample. Here we go. So if you heard a buzz in there, it's either my microphone or my fingering. The uke doesn't have any buzzes in it. All the way up the fretboard, it's clean, sounds good. I'll try to give you a little look on the action. I think it's pretty reasonable action. Maybe it could be a little bit lower, but not tremendously lower. So there you go. It's a fun little uke. And I think it's probably destined to do a lot of beach time, a lot of camping time, a lot of fun time. Have fun.